Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. We start today's presentation with a सुविचार. ज्ञान किसे कहते हैं? जो मैं जानता हूँ उसे जानता हूँ, जो मैं नहीं जानता उसे नहीं जानता. यही ज्ञान है. So today we have assembled on this virtual platform to outline some of the suggested alternatives to homework by the CBSE for classes 6 to 8 as per the NCF 2005. So we would first like to extend a very warm welcome to our Honorable Principal, Dr. Renu Sehgal, with flowers.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you very much.
We would also like to welcome our endearing headmistress, Ms. Suhani Daur, and the entire Goenkan team of Goenka Swarnagri Greater Noida with flowers.
Thank you, Ira, and the entire SST department.
You're
Very
welcome.
nice.
You're welcome. So today we cannot proceed further without invoking the blessings of Ma Saraswati, the epitome of knowledge and speech. She is the patron of art, music, philosophy, creativity, wisdom, and learning. Bless us with knowledge and wisdom, Ma.
Mata Saraswati Sharada Mata Saraswati Sharada Hey Mata Saraswati Sharada Vidyadani Dayani Dukha Harini Jagat Janani Jwalamukhi Mata Saraswati Sharada He Mata Saraswati Sharada Vidyadani Dayani Dukha Harini Jagat Janani Jwalamukhi Mata Saraswati Sharada He Mata Saraswati Sharada.
So today we are here to discuss the most important aspect of teaching and learning, that is homework. So homework is one aspect which is a term for discussion at the moment, and whether it's for students or teachers or parents, we all are concerned about the kind of homework that we are giving to our students. So today we are going to deliberate more on this particular aspect. So homework has begun generations ago when schooling consisted primarily of reading, writing, and doing arithmetic, and rote learning dominated. So simple tasks of memorization and practice were easy for children to do at home. And the belief was that such a mental exercise disciplined the mind. So homework was generally viewed as a positive practice and accepted without question as part of the student routine. So many schools feel safe in following the age-old method of teaching in classrooms, which involves very little independent thinking. In order to achieve this, schools practice the age-old method of giving homework as a tool for reinforcing concepts so that students can recall and write a formal examination. There is, however, very little focus on the development and nurturing of a human mind. As the culture has changed and as schools and families have changed, homework has become problematic for more and more students, parents, and teachers. Despite there being more diversity among learners in our schools than ever, many teachers continue to assign the same homework to all students. Although many people remain staunchly in favor of homework, a growing number of teachers and parents alike are beginning to question the practice. These critics are re-examining the beliefs behind the practice, the wisdom of assigning hours of homework, the absurdly heavy backpack, and the failure that can result when some students don't complete homework. There's a growing suspicion that something is wrong with homework. Internationally, concerns about homework, especially for elementary students, have arisen in many countries, including Ireland, the Philippines, Greece, France, India, Japan, Singapore, and Australia. Even the government of China, which has been the paragon of educational achievements, has warned schools and parents that excessive homework is not in the best interest of their children's health. Today, a kindergarten to fifth graders have an average of 2.9 hours of homework per week. 6th to 8th graders have 3.2 hours per teacher, and 9th to 12th graders have 3.5 hours per teacher, meaning a high school student with 5 teachers could have 17.5 hours of homework a week. Teenagers now spend about twice as much time on homework each day as compared to teens in the 1990s. Proponents of homework say that it improves student achievement and allows for independent learning of classrooms and life skills. They also say that homework gives parents the opportunity to monitor their child's learning and see how they are progressing academically. Opponents of homework say that too much may be harmful for students as it can increase stress, reduce leisure and sleep time, and lead to cheating. They also say that it widens social inequality and is not proven to be beneficial for younger children. So what are the best practices when it comes to assigning homework? And therefore, the need for alternatives to homework has arisen, because it is believed that it will lead to self-learning and it will solidify into a skill for life. Children can learn in a variety of ways through experience, making and doing things, experimentation, reading, doing surveys, discussions, thinking and reflecting, expressing oneself in speech. So now the common belief is that homework should be artistic, it should be creative, and it should also help a student to discover himself, and therefore will make our students happy. And that is exactly what the NCF 2005 says. Homework should connect life which is outside the school. It should ensure learning. It should shift away from rote methods. It should enrich the curriculum and go beyond textbooks. And therefore, the CBSE has suggested various alternatives to homework for classes 6 to 8. But I'm sure after seeing this presentation, the primary wing and the senior secondary wing will also have some takeaways from it. So let me reintroduce the team members who are going to walk you through the various alternatives to homework for classes 6 to 8. They will be covering all the subjects, that is English, Hindi, mathematics, science, and social science, taught across the board classes 6 to 8. So keeping this in mind, the CBSE conducted a survey and it posed a questionnaire to various stakeholders, parents, teachers, students, and educationists as to what should be the alternatives to homework at the upper primary level for classes 6 to 8. And all respondents agreed that homework should be creative, it should be interesting, purposeful, meaningful, it should be well planned, it should be interactive, and should lead to development of skills. The term homework should now be re-termed as self-work or practice work. So we should completely give up the term homework. It should not be burdensome, it should be for students and not for the parents, and it should give some kind of value education. Because now that we are living in nuclear families, the value education that came to the children from their grandparents, they are missing that part. So the teachers need to take on, the schools need to take on this responsibility as well. So after all, what is quality homework? It should emphasize on acquiring applied learning skills. Drawing, creative writing, the child should be able to solve puzzles, make stories, plays, do craft work. Should inculcate reading, writing, researching skills. The student should be able to practice a skill independently. He should be able to complete the task that he's given. Homework should be doable within a particular period of time. So the homework should develop study habits. The student should be able to practice his skills, scholastic and co-scholastic skills. He should become an independent learner and a thinker, and should be able to develop the 21st century skills. It should be interesting, innovative, and challenging at the same time. It should develop a spirit of inquiry and research. It should be purposeful, creative, and engaging. should be based on curriculum, and it should not require resources or technology which is not accessible to all learners, and should not put any unneeded pressure or stress on the child. So as per the suggestion of the board, class 6 homework should not be for more than 1 hour per day, class 7 and 8 not more than 1 hour and 20 minutes. And 40% of the homework should be based on drill and practice, 30% should lead to extension of learning, and 30% on creation, which is the ultimate aim and objective of any kind of learning activity. So I now request Mr. Sarvdaman and Ms. Ruchi Madan to suggest the alternatives to English and Hindi homework for classes 6 to 8.
Thank you, Ira ma'am. हम पहले हिंदी में किस तरीके से बच्चों को प्रेरित कर सकते हैं पढ़ने के लिए और अपने गृह कार्य को करने के लिए, उसके बारे में बात करेंगे। बच्चों को सबसे ज्यादा जो चीज रुचिकर लगती है वो लगती है कि उनको कहानियां पढ़ने के लिए दी जाएं। तो जो उनके पाठ्य पुस्तक है उसी पाठ्य पुस्तक के कुछ कहानियों के अंश कॉम्प्रिहेंशन या गद्यांश या पद्यांश की तरह से उनको दिए जा सकते हैं, जिसमें से वो कुछ शब्दों को ढूंढें। इसके अतिरिक्त जब वो अपने इस कार्य को संपन्न करें तो उसके बाद उनको कुछ अपठित गद्यांश भी दिए जा सकते हैं, जिसके द्वारा वो अपने जो पठन पाठन की स्थिति है उसमें सुधार कर सकते हैं। इसके अतिरिक्त उनको कहा जा सकता है कि उनकी पाठ्य पुस्तक के जो मजेदार चैप्टर हैं उनको वो पढ़ें। इसके अतिरिक्त धीरे धीरे फिर दूसरे लेखकों की कहानियां, अच्छे लेखकों के उपन्यास वो उनको पढ़ने के लिए दिए जा सकते हैं, और जो शब्द उन्होंने लिखे हैं उन शब्दों के श्रुतिलेख उनसे लिए जा सकते हैं, जिसे हम डिक्टेशन कहते हैं। तो इस प्रकार बच्चा पढ़ते पढ़ते काफी सारी चीजें धीरे धीरे सीख जाएगा और धीरे धीरे उसकी जो भाषा का जो कौशल है उसका विकास होगा। बच्चे को न केवल कहानियां पढ़ने के लिए प्रेरित किया जाए बल्कि उसको दूसरे क्रियाकलाप करने के लिए भी प्रेरणा दी जानी चाहिए, जैसे कि उसे दैनंदिनी लेखन का अभ्यास करना चाहिए, जिससे कि वो अपने सुबह से लेकर शाम तक के क्रियाकलापों को लिख पाए और उन क्रियाकलापों में से ये निकाल पाए कि उसने किन क्रियाकलापों पर अधिक समय लगाया है। इस प्रकार वो अपना जो समय प्रबंधन है उसको करने में सफलता प्राप्त करेगा। इसके अतिरिक्त बच्चे जब घूमने के लिए जाते हैं, जैसे गर्मियों की छुट्टियों में घूमने के लिए जाते हैं, मान लीजिए बच्चा नैनीताल जिम कॉर्बेट घूमने के लिए गया है, तो उस बच्चे से वहां का यात्रा वृतांत तो पूरा लिखने के लिए कहा जा सकता है। इससे बच्चे का जो लेखन कौशल है उसका विकास होगा, साथ ही बच्चा अपने विचारों को अभिव्यक्त लिखित माध्यम से कर पाएगा। इसके अतिरिक्त बच्चे को जो उसके शब्दकोश बढ़ाने वाले खेल जो हैं उनके लिए प्रेरित करना चाहिए, जिससे कि बच्चे के एक विस्तृत शब्दकोश का विकास हो। जैसा कि हम सभी जानते हैं कि हम 5000 से ज्यादा जो आम व्यक्ति होते हैं वो 5000 से ज्यादा शब्दों का प्रयोग नहीं कर पाते हैं अपने दैनिक बोलचाल की भाषा में, जबकि जो साहित्यिक व्यक्ति होते हैं वो 50,000 शब्दों से ज्यादा प्रयोग करते हैं। इससे न केवल बच्चे का जो वाचन है वो अच्छा हो जाएगा, बल्कि बच्चे के अंदर एक कौशल का विकास होगा। इसके अतिरिक्त बच्चे को जो नए शब्द, जो कठिन शब्द उसके जो भी वो कहानियां पढ़ रहा है या फिर जो कहानियां देख रहा है, जिन उपन्यास को वो पढ़ रहा है, उन कठिन शब्दों का अभ्यास करे और नए नए शब्द सीखे, तो इससे उसके जो भाषात्मक विकास है उसमें उसको बहुत ही मदद मिलेगी। इसके अतिरिक्त हम बच्चे को ये एक और क्रियाकलाप करने के लिए दे सकते हैं, जिससे कि उसको उसके पठन में पाठन में दोनों में मदद मिले। जैसे कि उसको पिक्चर कॉम्प्रिहेंशन बनाने के लिए दिया जा सकता है, चित्रात्मक विवरणिका बनाने के लिए दिया जा सकता है। इसके अतिरिक्त बच्चे को संवाद लेखन के लिए दिया जा सकता है। एक उदाहरण है, जैसे कि दो गाय सड़क पर बैठी हैं और आपस में संवाद कर रही हैं। बच्चे को बोला जाए कि आप इनके संवाद को लिखें कि दोनों गाय आपस में क्या बात कर रही हैं। तो बच्चे के अंदर न केवल एक कौशल का विकास होगा, बल्कि वो सोच पाएगा कि किस तरह से एक संवाद लेखन की प्रक्रिया को आरंभ किया जा सकता है। इसके अतिरिक्त जो बच्चे को कहानियों के आधार पर, जो उसकी पाठ्य पुस्तक में कहानियां हैं, उसके आधार पर उसको कोई स्क्रिप्ट लिखने के लिए दी जा सकती है, जिससे कि बच्चा अपनी क्लास के दूसरे बच्चों के माध्यम से, अपने क्लास के दूसरे बच्चों के साथ मिलकर इस नाटक को, जो उसने नाट्य रूपांतरण किया है उस कहानी का, उस नाटक को स्टेज के ऊपर प्रस्तुत कर पाए। इसके अतिरिक्त बच्चे के जो लेखन के विकास के लिए कुछ उसको कुछ चिन्ह दिए जा सकते हैं, कुछ उसको क्लूज दिए जा सकते हैं, जिसके द्वारा बच्चा जो है एक कहानी को विकसित करने की प्रवृत्ति अपने अंदर लेकर आए। इसके अतिरिक्त बच्चे को जो संदेश लेखन है, औपचारिक अनौपचारिक, उसके लेखन की तरफ प्रवृत्त करना चाहिए। तो बच्चे की जो वाचनात्मक जो प्रवृत्ति है वो उससे बहुत अच्छे से विकसित होगी। इसके अतिरिक्त बच्चे को कहा जा सकता है कि आप समाचार पत्र अपने खुद का समाचार पत्र बनाकर लाएं। इसके लिए हम बच्चे को पूछ सकते हैं कि भाई आप जो आपके जो न्यूज़पेपर है, जो आपका समाचार पत्र है, उसमें बच्चों से संबंधित जितने भी समाचार हैं उनको आप अपने इस समाचार पत्र का एक भाग बनाइए। तो बच्चे के अंदर एक प्रवृत्ति आएगी कि वो बच्चों से संबंधित जितने भी समाचार हैं या जो उसके रुचिकर जो समाचार हैं उनको वो अपने समाचार पत्र में स्थान देगा। इसके अतिरिक्त जो एक पत्रिका का जो डिजाइन है वो भी उससे बनवाया जा सकता है। जो पत्रिका का एक डिजाइन होता है उससे तैयार कराया जा सकता है। अगर इंडिविजुअली बच्चा कर रहा है, अकेला कर रहा है, तो 2 या 4 पेज का, और अगर समूह के तौर पे कर रहा है तो ये 8, 16 या 32 पेज का भी हो सकता है। इसके अतिरिक्त बच्चे को चरित्र चित्रण लिखने के लिए कहा जा सकता है। जैसे किसी महान व्यक्तित्व, मौलाना अबुल कलाम आजाद के बारे में लिखना है, या फिर सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल के बारे में लिखना है, या उसकी कहानी में कोई किसान है उसका चरित्र चित्रण उसको लिखना है। इसके अतिरिक्त ब्रोशर राइटिंग उसको दी जा सकती है। जैसे कि अभी हमारा इंटीग्रेटेड आर्ट लर्निंग प्रोजेक्ट चल रहा है, उसमें भी बच्चे ब्रोशर राइटिंग कर रहे हैं। तो इससे बच्चा जो है अपने विचारों को अभिव्यक्त करना एक सुचारू रूप से वो सीख जाएगा, और उससे जो उसका जीवन है, जीवन के बारे में एक समझ होगी, एक संवेदना उसके अंदर प्रकट होगी। इसके अतिरिक्त हम बच्चे को विज्ञापन लिखने कर सकते हैं, कुछ पोस्टर बनाने के लिए कर सकते हैं। विज्ञापन का मैं एक उदाहरण दूंगा। ये काफी पहले पेप्सी का एक विज्ञापन आया था, तो उन्होंने पूरे देश भर में एक कंटेस्ट चलाया था, जिसमें उन्होंने बच्चों से जो पूछा था कि किस तरीके से हम इसको एक नए रूप में प्रस्तुत कर सकते हैं। तो उन्होंने एक इसके लिए बच्चों ने सजेशन दिया था। तो उस टाइम पे काफी बड़ी पंच लाइन बनी थी, लहर पेप्सी आहा। तो इस प्रकार के जो नए नए जो विचार हैं वो बच्चे अपने अंदर से लेकर आ सकते हैं, और इससे उनकी जो कौशल का विकास बहुत अच्छे से हो सकता है। इसके अतिरिक्त बच्चे को कोलाज बनाने के लिए कहा जा सकता है कि विशेषण से संबंधित कोलाज बनाइए या संज्ञा से संबंधित। तो उससे न केवल बच्चा संज्ञा को समझ पाएगा, बल्कि दूसरे को भी अच्छे से समझा पाएगा। केवल संज्ञा या विशेषण ही नहीं, वो बाकी चीजों को भी समझा पाएगा। इसके अतिरिक्त बच्चे को कहा जा सकता है कि आप किसी महान व्यक्तित्व के लिए एक साक्षात्कार के लिए प्रश्नोत्तरी तैयार करें। इसके लिए हो सकता है कि वो अपने कक्षा अध्यापक का ही साक्षात्कार करे, या अपने किसी साथी का ही साक्षात्कार करे, या अपने विद्यालय की प्रधानाचार्य का साक्षात्कार लेने के लिए वो कुछ 8 या 10 प्रश्नोत्तरी तैयार करे। इससे बच्चे के अंदर एक आत्मविश्वास जो जगेगा बच्चे के अंदर कि मैं अपने टीचर से भी प्रश्न कर सकता हूँ, मैं अपने प्रधानाध्यापक से भी प्रश्न कर सकता हूँ। तो ये बहुत उसकी जो क्रियात्मक जो उसके जो क्रियाकलाप हैं, उसके अंदर उसको बहुत ज्यादा जो आगे वो क्रियाकलाप करेगा, उसमें बहुत सारी उसको मदद मिलेगी। इसके अतिरिक्त विलोम शब्द, पर्यायवाची शब्द, समानार्थी शब्द, ये उसको मैप या वेब चार्ट के द्वारा समझाए जा सकते हैं और दूसरे ग्रामर के जो टॉपिक्स हैं या व्याकरण के से संबंधित जितने भी टॉपिक्स हैं वो उसको बताए जा सकते हैं। इससे वो जो चीजें वो देखता है उन चीजों को वो कनेक्ट कर पाएगा, मिला पाएगा। इसके अतिरिक्त बच्चे को प्रेरित करना चाहिए कि वो पत्र लिखे, क्योंकि आजकल ईमेल का जमाना है, पत्र बच्चे कम लिखते हैं, लेकिन जो कागज के ऊपर पत्र लिखा जाता है उसमें जो भाव व्यक्त किए जाते हैं, कम शब्दों में ज्यादा भाव जो प्रकट किए जाते हैं, वो बच्चे को प्रेरित करना चाहिए। ज्यादातर जो बच्चे होते हैं वो प्रार्थना पत्र का ही अभ्यास करते हैं, क्योंकि उन्हें स्कूल से छुट्टी लेने की या प्रधानाचार्य से या अपने कक्षाध्यापिका से किसी फेवर के लिए वो लिखना होता है। लेकिन हमें ये नहीं भूलना चाहिए कि उनको अपने मित्रों को, अपने परिवारजनों को, सभी को ये पत्र लिखने के लिए प्रेरित करना चाहिए। तो ये औपचारिक अनौपचारिक दोनों तरह के पत्र लिखने के लिए उन्हें कहा जा सकता है। इसके अतिरिक्त जो उनकी पाठ्य पुस्तक में दी गई जो कहानी है, कोई भी जो स्टोरी है, उस कहानी को एक कॉमिक स्ट्रिप की तरह से प्रस्तुत करने के लिए कहा जा सकता है, क्योंकि चित्रात्मक अभिव्यक्ति जो है वो बच्चे को कहीं ना कहीं और ज्यादा अच्छी तरह से उसके जो विचार हैं उनको अभिव्यक्त करने में मदद करेगी। अब मैं रुचि मदान मैम को आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगा। रुचि मदान मैम।
Thank you, sir. For language-specific subjects like English, homework can be given in the following ways. Read some books or stories, or reread the chapters in a textbook to develop the reading skill. Practice of speaking skills can be developed by talking to parents, siblings, and listening skills can be developed by watching TV programs. Learn at least 10 new words can be given as homework every week to improve their vocabulary. Do vocabulary games with them through which they will learn and enjoy. Diary entry, so on and so forth. Now I will describe all these methods in detail. First is picture, where a child may be given a picture and may be asked to describe what is happening, or he may be asked to write the dialogues between two people, that is script writing. This homework may be given from the chapters of the book, or it may be given from somewhere outside. This will help to develop the oratory skills of children. Designing newspapers, scrap file, bio sketch, brochure writing. Children may be asked to make a newspaper based on latest news, sometimes in general or in specific. Making scrap file or brochures, it will definitely enhance their creative and analytical skills. Next, ad media, preparing advertisements, posters. This homework will be very interesting for the students. They will enjoy making jingles for advertisements and use of different cartoon characters, various smileys, color combinations to design the posters. Diary entry, that is writing how does it feel. Paragraph writing, writing from an object's perspective. Writing diary on a regular basis will improve their self-expression skills. And at the same time, they will retain the memory of each day. Writing from an object's perspective means, for example, if there is a kite in a story, then the children may be asked to write, how does it feel if you are a kite and you are up in the sky? This will again improve their expression of thoughts. Grammatical skills, they can be improved by giving activity, picking out the nouns, verbs, pronouns from the chapter, to write down 5 sentences which have a quality characteristics or the name of an animal hidden in it. For example, a sentence may be given to the children like, He arrived in America today. And the children may be asked to find out the name of the animal hidden in it. Like they will pick out the last two alphabets of America, that is CA, and the first alphabet of today, that is T, and it becomes CAT cat. So these kind of exercises will definitely make the subject more enjoyable to them, and they will definitely learn few more things each day. Self-compose a poem. Children will definitely find this very interesting as when they are asked to compose a poem in their own words. They may be asked to find out the rhyming words or to collect more information about the poet. Other kind of homework which can be given from the poem is spin a yarn, where a child may be asked to write the story hidden in the poem in about 100 to 200 words from start to end. Next is designing a collage on well-known personalities. In case the chapter is based on some famous personalities, children will be asked to design a collage of the personalities of the same field, or they may be asked to interview a person who lives nearby to them or in their own locality to design a questionnaire. This will definitely be very interesting for the students, and it will develop it critical thinking and language precision. Next is mind map, web charts. For example, if the story in the book is based on a family, then the children may be asked to draw a mind map of their relations amongst each other, quoting their attributes, characteristics. This will help to recapitulate the content faster at the time of examination. Another homework which children will enjoy is memorabilia, reflecting 5 important treasured moments of life. This will keep their memories safe, which they will enjoy later on. Last but not the least, if the chapter in context is based on some funny incidences, then the children may be asked to write informal letters to their friends, relatives, narrating those incidences, or they may be asked to write any other incidents which they were a part of. Slips may be given to them as homework, mentioning some crazy situations to prepare a comic strip of the situations mentioned in slip. Now I welcome Zunur ma'am to carry forward the presentation.
Thank you, Ruchi ma'am. Now we are going to talk about alternatives to mathematics homework for classes 6 to 8. Mathematics is one of the most dreaded subject ever, but we cannot deny the fact that mathematics is a very practical and interesting as well. Common reasons many students find mathematics boring is that they have never learned what mathematics is. When we think of maths as memorized number or facts or theorems expressed in formalized notation, which must be memorized or should be applicable in our everyday life. Also, maths can become boring because it's often too abstract and does not relate to kids' current everyday experience. Making maths relevant to young kids is about tapping into their interest and mostly making mathematics practical, as when students don't find subjects problem relatable to real world, it becomes difficult for them to understand it. So teachers can present a specific topic of mathematics and can apply it to a familiar situation to grasp attention of students. This will make concepts more real and meaningful. Now I would like to hand over the presentation to Raj Kamal sir, who will enlighten us about various effective alternatives that can make mathematics more engaging and intriguing.
Thank you, Zuru ma'am. So, mensuration. It is one of the chapters in mathematics which students come across in classes 6 to 8. In this chapter, mostly the students are asked to calculate perimeter, area, and volume of different geometrical shapes like square, rectangle, triangle, circle, etc. Normally, what a student does is that he tries to memorize all the formulae in this chapter to solve the problems. But instead, if we give a child a geometrical shape which is very fun like here we can see a robot which is made of squares and rectangles, and then ask him to calculate the perimeter and area, the child will be very keen in solving the problems. We can also ask the child to come up with their own geometrical shapes, which can be a combination of triangle, square, and other geometrical figures. It will also help the child to develop 2D visual skills. So the next activity is from geometry. Now another activity which we have taken here is from geometry, which can be used as an interdisciplinary activity with geography. This activity can be given to the students when the child is first introduced with the basic concepts and terminologies of the chapter like what are points, line segments, point of intersections, bisectors. So here in this activity, the student is asked to locate 2 points on the eastern and western part of India, like Guwahati and Jaipur, and then he's asked to draw a line segment joining the 2 points. Similarly, he's asked to locate 2 points in the northern and southern part of India, like Srinagar and Chennai, and then he's asked to join the 2 points with the help of a line segment. So we can teach very basic concepts like points, what is a line segment, what is point of intersection, what are bisectors. Also, we will be encouraging the child to learn geography also with such activities. The next activity is from decimals. So decimals is one such chapter which many students they find difficult to cope with, especially when it comes to division and multiplication. So when this chapter is introduced to the child, it is very important that we present it to the child in a simple and interesting manner, so that the child becomes comfortable with the chapter and doesn't tries to avoid it. So this activity here teaches the child decimal addition, where he has been given some simple decimal addition problems, and a phrase is attached to each problem. After solving all the problems, he will be asked to tell the sentence which got formed by joining all the phrases. So in this way, child will be more keen and curious while solving these problems, which makes the task of teacher easier. Next activity is from the chapters fractions and decimals. So these days, students are addicted to having junk food, which is definitely not healthy for them. So here's an activity which will not only teach the child decimals and fractions, but will also discourage him to consume junk food. So here a child can be asked to get a packet of any junk food which he consumes. It can be a packet of chocolate, pizza, chips, anything. And then he is supposed to note down all the ingredients mentioned on the packet and write their respective weights and calories. And usually it is seen that these are decimal numbers. So after jotting down everything, he will be asked to calculate the total weight of the ingredients and the calories he is consuming. So the next time the child will become more sensitive and aware before consuming any such junk food, and also we'll be teaching them fractions and decimals. The next activity is from data handling. So where the student is taught different statistical concepts like mean, median, mode, bar diagrams, pie charts, etc. So here is again a very simple and interesting activity which will require 2 weeks for the child to complete it, where he is given the names of some fruits or vegetables, and the student is supposed to find out the prices of these fruits in 2 consecutive weeks. So at the end of the 2 week, we can ask the child to represent the changes in the prices of the fruits with the help of a bar diagram. So the child learns data handling as well as the changes in the economy of a market at a very basic level. The next activity is from chapter comparing quantities, where the student is taught different mathematical concepts like ratio and proportion and percentages. Now, here is again a very simple activity which can be used to teach ratio and percentages, where different activities in which the child is engaged throughout a day is mentioned, and the student is asked to fill the number of hours he gives to these activities. After that, he is asked to convert the hours he spends into fractions per day by dividing the hours with 24. And then he can also convert it into percentage by multiplying the ratio with 100. So this is again a very simple activity which can be taught to the students. Now I would like to hand over the presentation to Vaneet ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Let's talk about science. Science is defined as intellectual and practical activity which involves the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. In science, we can include formulae, crosswords, diagrams, game riddles, concept-based questions, and DIY experiments. These would certainly help students to develop interest in the subject. The curriculum should be designed in such a way that allows children to be able to explore and derive conclusions on their own. Let's discuss few creative ways to study science. First is sports-based learning. Now, this is an interesting approach to learn problem solving in physics or study a complex chemical reaction. It can help to learn probability, percentage, which can help to solve physics and chemistry numericals. And this approach has been accepted in many countries around the world. Next is word games. This is the most common yet interesting method to learn the language of science and help students get familiar with few basic terms. Virtual science lab. Nowadays, these virtual science labs are in great demand. Parents have installed such applications that would help students to give hands-on experience without much expense. They are available online for free as well. Science at home. Encourage students to discover science at home and around them. Science is everywhere, in air, water, our body, etc. We can also include few riddles, crosswords, activities. Few examples have been shown here. I'll read out one riddle. I taste better than I smell. So the answer is tongue. We can use such type of riddles as per the chapter or the topic that we are teaching. Next, we have activities recommended by CBSE as an alternative to homework. First, making your own magnet. Second, compose a story using colored pictures with a message to reduce wastage of water. Next, experiment to show that air occupies space. Then we have another activity, select waste items that can be recycled. Then we have few interesting facts, and these can be discussed with the students and help to build their interest in the subject. Few facts are as follows. Your nose and ears continue growing throughout your entire life. Babies have around 100 more bones than adults. The Eiffel Tower can be 15 centimeters taller during summer. Stomach acid is strong enough to dissolve stainless steel. Venus is the only planet to spin clockwise. Your blood vessels could circle the globe. The average human adult has 2,000 to 4,000 taste buds. These facts help to build interest in the students and also encourage them to study further details of a concept. Next, we have an activity. It is shown in the picture. It is quite simple, yet it helps to understand the basic concept easily. There are 2 coins and 2 buckets. One bucket A has a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and other bucket B has a temperature of 25 degrees Fahrenheit. And the question is, which coin touches the bottom of the bucket first, A or B? Well, the coin in the first bucket, which is bucket A, touches the bottom first. Why? Because at 25 degrees Celsius, water is liquid, while at 25 degrees Fahrenheit, it turns into an ice. I would now request Shilpi ma'am to please take this presentation forward.
Thank you, ma'am. You can see the slide here, crossword. Crossword puzzle have been shown to be effective alternative to homework for students. When students identify answers correctly, they may have an increase in confidence. When students have difficulty with the puzzles, they are prompted to ask questions and research to find the correct answer. Overall, students found this method of study to be helpful, and research has shown crossword to have a positive effect on learning, increase motivation and interest in the topic at hand. For example, the crossword of solar system. As I have shown in the screen, the largest planet of the solar system according to size is Jupiter. Red planet is Mars. Earth is also known as blue planet, and so on. Our next activity is diagram. Now first we'll see the uses of diagram. Diagram helps the students to recall the knowledge and skills they have been taught, understand the material that is being taught, perform problem-solving tasks, perform transfer tasks. For example, on the screen you can see the diagram of water cycle. Students will learn about the life cycle of water, in particular the important processes of evaporation, transpiration, condensation, precipitation, and collection. Our next activity is models. It's a very interesting activity. Students learn to construct, observe, and analyze. Children can make a model of aquarium, zoo, anything. Teachers may help, the teachers may keep these models in the science lab and can display it in the exhibitions as well. Children can take a shoebox, decorate the background with colored papers, or enjoy painting at the back, sprinkle some grass to make ground, and use green twigs to make small trees. Paste pictures of animals or fish on the background, make cutouts of fishes, hang it. This way they can make the model and enjoy the activity. Our next activity is decompose. You can see on the screen garbage in and garbage out. Children can dig a pit in their home garden. They can collect some 2 paper bags, 2 juice of Tetra packs, 2 potato chips packs, fruit and vegetable peels. Place the material in the pot and cover it. After a month or 2, dig up the soil and observe the items. They will learn to differentiate differentiation and classification. Even they will come to know what things decompose and what not. Our next activity is water. Water is life. Water is precious and very important for all of us. Students can compose their own poem or they can write their own thoughts in any topic, like water is life. They can be given 15-20 minutes for this activity. Now students, this way, students will enhance their writing skills, creative thinking through this activity. Our next activity is dialogue writing. Teacher can give the following situation to the students, like Ratna tells her younger brother the importance of water and the way to prevent its wastage. Students can depict this in the form of dialogue between 2 or more than 2. 15-20 minutes can be given to the students who prepare. Our next activity is nature walk, or you can say experiment on nature. There are 2 activities on leaves and flowers. These activities can also be done by pre-primary and primary section. Students can collect 20 different types or more than different types of leaves, compare their size, feel like texture, like rough and smooth, observe their margin, apex, veinage, tabulate their observation, find out which feature has appeared the maximum number of times. Finally, summarize, conclude their observation in the form of a statement, like most of the leaves are round, their texture is smooth, and so on. In the same way, parts of flowers. Children can collect different types of flowers, dissect the flowers to take out its part, Record their observation. Paste the parts of the flowers on a sheet, on the notebook, or they can also, in the leaves activity, they can do a leaf printing. Observe its color, number, and tabulate the observation. And then they can compare. Now I hand over the presentation to Niharika ma'am.
Thank you, Shilpi ma'am. Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. Many students find at least one subject under social studies boring. It is up to the teachers to make the students realize how dynamic this subject is, how connected to our everyday lives it is, how interesting it can be. The teachers can make it more fun with interactive classes, project-based work, and fieldwork. It could be as easy, as fun, and as interesting as watching TV. Yes, I'm not joking. The TV is a great resource for audio-visual learning. The students can watch specific programs on the National Geographic Channel or the History Channel. The students can hold mock drills for disaster management in their locality, for example, earthquake or fire drills. They can conduct small surveys on a concept or topic related to the curriculum in their locality or market. They can learn how the economy works in day-to-day life. They can watch the government working in real time by watching the proceedings of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha on TV. They can take up social awareness drives in their society or locality. They can study the weather conditions on a weekly basis. The students can learn by doing and gain practical and useful knowledge instead of just bookish knowledge or rote learning. Some examples of alternatives to homework would be, they can be asked to make an album with pictures of their family members, family outings, and write down the occupations of their family members. Social studies is incomplete about map work or map pointing. For map work, they can be asked to mark rivers. For map pointing, they could be asked to mark Janpadas or Mahajanpadas. They can be asked to undertake a case study, for example, of Magad, where they would be asked to collect information on the historic background, the occupations of the people, powerful rulers, the capital city, and the conquests. They can even be asked to make collages. For example, a collage on religion can be divided in the class could be divided into small groups of 5 students each, where the first 5 students could make a collage about the teachings of Hinduism. The next 5 would be asked to make a collage of the teachings of Buddhism. The next 5, the teachings of Jainism. The next 5, the teachings of Zoroaster. The next 5, the famous saints of Buddhism, and so on. They can also be asked to paste pictures. For example, the national emblems of India. They could be asked to design a national symbol for India. They can undertake interviews. For example, the craftspeople who work in society. Students can prepare a questionnaire covering the name, the type of products those craftspeople are making, the materials and raw materials being used, the design, the equipments used to make these products, the utility and market value of the products. These activities lead the students to enhance their identification skills. They can learn to appraise. They can enhance their awareness. It leads them to sharpen their social and critical thinking and analysis skills. They can be asked to make projects also, undertake projects, whereupon, for example, they can be asked to maybe make a genealogical tree of themselves, mentioning at least 2 generations. They can take the help of their grandparents for making this. An interdisciplinary activity with language could be paragraph writing. The topic could be, there are several pilgrimages performed by the people of India. They can be asked to find out about any one of them and write a short paragraph about it. They can even design the cover page of their favorite historical book. For role play, they can enact a play from Panchtantra. For social and political life or class or civics, as it is better known, survey and data collection, research work, which can lead to them writing a paragraph about whatever they have found out. They can be asked to make posters, paint something, make logos, make collages. They can be asked to collect newspaper cuttings about one particular current topic, maintain a scrapbook. They can write in diaries. They can be asked to make an imaginary political party and write the manifesto for it. They can get involved in debates. They can make advertisements, like Sarvdaman sir gave a very good example. And of course, they can play roles. For geography, data collection, they can be asked to collect data. The students can collect data. They can analyze it. They can make tables or flow charts or web charts and analyze the data, make a comparative analysis of the data. They can be asked to write slogans, for example, slogans about water conservation or air pollution. They can make working models of solar cookers, windmills, hydropower. They can also make flashcards. For example, any major crop like rice or wheat and its geographical conditions. They can undertake case studies. Again, geography is also incomplete without maps. So some sort of map work, debates, and project work. All these alternatives to homework are the same across the board for all the 3 classes and for all the subjects. I now hand over the presentation to Mukta Kohli ma'am and request her to take it forward.
Thank you, Niharika ma'am. Niharika ma'am discussed in detail
about the alternatives to homework and various activities that can be undertaken in the three branches of social science, civics, and geography. I will now be elaborating on it and taking examples of specific chapters in history which children find boring and suggest some alternatives to the find history boring because it is all about memorizing dates and they associate history with string of dates. There is this chapter in history in grade 8, how, when and where, which is all about periodicization, and children find it very difficult to memorize dates in this chapter. So this chapter can be very easily integrated with other disciplines like English, wherein children can be asked to write an essay on problems of periodization in history. Not only will this enhance the language skills of the students, also it will enable the teacher to know what are actually the problems that children are facing while studying this chapter, and then she can improve upon her teaching process. Similarly, children can be asked to prepare a travelogue, sources of history that were displayed in that. Activities are that children will be they will be able to apply in their curriculum. There is, another chapter in history, when people rebel. It is an important chapter because it discusses two very major events of the history. One, that of Battle of Plassey, and other, that is the revolt of 1857. Both these events are very, very important in Indian history because they paved a way for the rising of the feeling of nationalism in Indians. So Battle of Plassey was fought between the then Nawab of Bengal, Sirajuddaula, and the British troops of East India. So this chapter can be interdisciplinary, to write a dialogue between Siraj. They will wreck their brains and will try to think Sirajuddaula when there was rampant by the British East India Company. What would they have discussed? They will try to put themselves in that situation and will write the dialogue. Of course, this will enhance their analytical abilities and to think beyond the text. Another important event in the history all of us know is the revolt of timeline on the revolt 1857. Also, children can prepare a character sketch on any of the major events or any of the major characters who took part in the revolt. For example, Rani Jhansi, Nana Sahib, Tantya Tope, and even Lord Dalhousie. What were their characters like? Children can be asked to write, and this chapter can be interdisciplined with English. This chapter can also be interdisciplined with computers and IT, where children can be asked to prepare a PowerPoint presentation on various aspects of the rebellion of 1857. So the chapter can, of course, be made very thorough with students by interdisciplining it with English and interdisciplining it with computers, wherein they can, show their creativity. There is this another chapter about weavers, iron smelters, and factory owners, which deals us the story of the crafts and industries of India during British rule. So children can be asked to collect samples of some popular forms of textiles that were traded during the 18th century from India and arrange them in a scrapbook. Also, there can be a case study, a comparison that can be made of the industrial pattern. What was the industrial pattern of Japan with that of the industrial city of India, that is Jamshedpur. I will now discuss interdisciplinary activity which can be undertaken in social science class, and it can be interdisciplined with all the 5 core subjects. Children can undertake a field trip with the help of their teacher, wherein they would be asked to
a mosque, a church, and a gurudwara. This will enable students to see various ways in which worship is taking place in these 4 places. And after a field trip, children can be divided into groups and they can be asked to submit a project under any of the following subheadings. For example, in English, they can be asked to write a dialogue, or they can be asked to write a report on the field trip wherein they can explain their experiences that they gathered over this trip. In Hindi, they can research on similarities and differences between Hindi and Gurumukhi as a script. They can be asked to dance and Shabad Kirtan by Guru Nanak Ji. There is a chapter on Bhakti movement in grade 7. Children will be able to relate better to that chapter. In math, children can calculate the distance between the mosque and the Makkah that they visited. And in science, they can be asked to explain reasons for tail windows in churches, stained glasses, and the concept of refraction and reflection. And finally, in social science, they can make a collage on teachings of various religions. So we have tried to explain various ways in which various subjects, that is our 5 core subjects of English, Hindi, math, science, and social science, how can they be integrated? Various other alternatives that can be carried out in all of these subjects. I'm sure each one of us is far more creative and can think out of the box and devise our own activities, which will make our teaching learning process very interesting. It is said that you can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. अर्ज किया है, यूं ही नहीं बनता इंद्रधनुष आसमां में, यूं ही नहीं बनता इंद्रधनुष आसमां में, हर एक रंग को एक होना पड़ता है. Over to you, Ira ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mukta. And as we can see that the interdisciplinary approach has been greatly emphasized. Integration of subjects has been emphasized. So I was just thinking in the course of making this presentation that as much as it is important to integrate subjects, it's important to integrate the teachers as well. So at the beginning of this session, when we are doing our academic planning and we are making our academic planners, all subject teachers of every class should sit together and make the planning together. So that, like, for example, if I want my students in economics to make a PPT on types of economies, different types of economies, then I should be telling Vivekta, who is the